Okay, so there's been reports that Jai Opetaia is really struggling to get a big unification match at Cruiserweight purely because the other big Cruiserweights and the other Cruiserweight champions are ducking him. The other two champions at that weight division being Badu Jack and also Zerdo Ramirez. Both guys, in my opinion, Zerdo Ramirez and Badu Jack, are decent enough boxers. I think Zerdo's pretty good, in my opinion. I think Zerdo's really good, actually. I think Badu Jack is very beatable. He's been beaten a number of times in his career and is on the back end of his career for sure. That being said, I think the main issue probably is because there's not a ton of money at Cruiserweight. Of course, if there was more money on the line and a guy like Badu Jack could get a big payday against a Jai Opetaia, he would definitely do it. You know, Jai Opetaia is not against being thrown to the wolves. He's not against that as long as the money's right. And the money's probably not right for him. The money's not right for him to fight Jai Opetaia. So that fight doesn't get made. Zerdo, again, I'm surprised because Zerdo's the type of guy who's probably not made a ton of money throughout his career, and a fight against Jai Opetaia would no doubt be the biggest name on his resume. And if he could win that fight, it would be a huge win for him. I don't think he would be able to beat Jai Opetaia, but those are the options sort of on the table for those two guys. Other than that, then for Jai Opetaia, he may as well be looking to move at heavyweight. I'll probably make another video about how I think he would do it at heavyweight, but if none of the other world champions at Cruiserweight are going to fight him, and there's not a ton of new blood coming in at Cruiserweight at the moment, unless you wait around long enough for Jake Paul to work his way up the rankings, you know. But literally, there's not a great deal at Cruiserweight. Honestly, I wouldn't even mind seeing the likes of maybe a David Benavidez or a Beterbiev moving up to light heavy, moving up to Cruiserweight. Sorry, even at Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard's big. Anthony Yard is a big dude. Don't get it wrong. He's all of 6 foot, big at 175. Big at 175. And then you've got David Benavidez, who, again, another guy who walks at around Cruiserweight. He probably walks at well over 200 pounds. I think that's documented that Benavidez walks at well over 200 pounds. So could easily fight a Cruiserweight. Could easily fight a Cruiserweight. I don't think that's a bad move for David Benavidez down the line. Honestly, because if Bivol doesn't want to fight him, if Bivol avoids him, then, you know, you may as well try and get one of those world titles at Cruiserweight. That being said, I don't think Bivol is trying to duck him, but there are some people that think that. You know, there are some people that think that. So, nonetheless, Jai Opetaia is in a tricky situation. No, needless to say, he's in a tricky situation because the big fights at his weight division don't want to fight him, and unless he moves up or someone else moves up, there's not really a ton of options there for him. But I would be super curious to know what you think of Jai Opetaia's situation. Do you think he should wait around for the next sort of generation of Cruiserweight to come up? Do you think the other world champions at Cruiserweight should, you know, get a deal made and have a big unification fight? Do you think someone like David Benavidez could move up to Cruiserweight? And also, do you think Jai Opetaia could move up to heavyweight? And if he was to do that, how do you think it'd go for him? I'd be super curious to know what you guys think in the comments below. Another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag, and I'm out. Peace.